Hello everybody. I'm going to show you how to make a Christmas wreath because I'm feeling all Christmassy. I've lit the fire, got Christmas lights on, so it's all looking very cosy. And this time of year I like to make a Christmas wreath for the front door. Now I'm very lucky, I've got a lovely garden and I can find the things I need for my Christmas wreath in the garden. So hopefully you've got some trees and bushes and things in your garden which you can use for making a Christmas wreath for yourself. Okay, so what things I've collected some things from the garden and brought them in. So first of all we need some of these. Now these are thin branches from a willow tree, so they're really bendy. But if you haven't got a willow tree in your garden, just find some thin, whippy, bendy branches and they'll do fine. So you need about 3 or 4 twisted together, and you've got to be quite strong to be able to do this bit, so you might need a bit of help. You've got to bend the branches all together into a circle about that big, something like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to push these bits inside the hoop. Okay, so that's held in place like that. And then we're going to twist the ends of the branches around. So make sure you cut the branches long enough so that they can be used. I'll turn the stove down a wee bit in a minute. It's going away nicely there. Now push them back on themselves through the hoop, just like that, so that it all holds itself together in place. But just to be extra sure, I'm just making it a little bit more round as well, so just pull it in place. I'm just going to put a bit of string around there. I'll just turn the fire down a bit first. Out, but we don't want it to rage away. Okay, so I've got some string and a pair of scissors. This is a nice green string, so it's going to get hidden by the foliage. And I'm going to use my string to tie around the end bit, just to make sure it doesn't ping out of where I tucked it in. Really good knot. In fact, I think I might see if I can remember where that is and use it to hang my wreath up when I finished it. Just going to make a loop in it. There we go, so now I've got a handy hanging loop ready. Find that at the end. I'm just going to trim these bits off. Got some secateurs here. So I'm going to snip these bits that I don't need off. Have a good tidy up in the living room and I've finished. Get the hoover out quickly. Snip these bits off. Okay, and just put it into a nice round shape. So we have our willow hoop. Okay, now I've collected some ivy, a nice long long strings of ivy, which are really handy for wrapping round and round. Okay, so we'll do those in a minute. I've got a bay tree in my garden. So this is from bay tree, and these smell really good. So this is a herb that you can put into stews and things. So I like putting herbs into my wreath. And then I've got some of this, which is from a Landii hedge. So it's like a sort of pine twigs, which is also smells really Christmassy. It smells like a Christmas tree. And then finally I've got some prickly ivy. I'm going holly. Silly me. I'm going to leave the holly till last because that's the prickliest bit. So we don't want to be squashing things on top of the holly. We'll leave the prickly bit till last. So I usually start with my Landii hedge stuff. What we need is 3 bits, not that long. Okay. 1, 2, got another bit here. Okay, so we need bits about that long. And what we're going to do is all we need to do is poke them into the ring. Start anywhere you like. So we're just poking them in between the willow, and that just sits there. Okay. Don't need to worry about twisting it at all at this moment, because the ivy is going to do that job for us. Take these bits off. So the next piece is going to go back here. Push that in between 2 of the bits of ivy. Okay, so there's 2 bits laid on top of the ring. Third bit is going out here. So it's just a case of finding a little hole between the ivy, between the willow strands, and sticking them in. Okay. So we've got 3 bits just laid on the top. And now what we do with the ivy is wrap it over the top, hold these in place. It's sliding over there. That's that really nice long bit. I'll use this bit first, I think. Start from the thick end. So find somewhere to poke it in, hold it in place, and then just wrap it round over the top. The Landii you've already got there. Just wrapping it round. So keep one out. Find another nice long bit. Always poke it into the willow to start with. So we've just got somewhere to start. Keep a hold of that and wrap it round. Okay, so keep doing that. John's just come in. He's going to walk through in a minute. That's fine. You can walk through. John's just been out for a bike ride. And now he's come home. And come straight through. Okay, so this is my last bit of ivy. That pokes in that end. And we wrap it around. Okay, so it starting to look quite like a Christmas wreath already. So, what else have we got to put in to fill in some of the gaps? I've got my bits of bay. So they're just gonna find a nice gap. There's a good gap here. That's going in there. And then the other end is a bit gappy just here. looking pretty good, I'd say. Nearly there. We just haven't done the holly. So the trick with the holly is, number one, to be very careful. And with the holly you can trim the lower bits off. And then you've got a long bit of stalk with no holly leaves on it that you can poke in. Okay. So again, just find a space. If you don't want to do this bit, you can always get somebody else to help you with the spiky bits. But if you're careful, it doesn't hurt too much. You can always pull it in from the other end. And it does look super lovely on your roof. Okay, let's do another bit of holly. Let's trim these bits off. Okay, so I've taken the lower bits off. You can see, find a gap. Maybe next to that bit of bay, that looks really good there. If you notice what I'm doing, I've got to say this, is that I'm pushing most of the greenery in from the front. So it looks really, really lovely and full on the front. But the bits of branch are sticking out from the back, but that doesn't matter because that's the bit that's going to be against the door, so it only needs to look nice from the front. I reckon there's space for one more bit of holly there. Just find a nice bit of holly here. If you're lucky enough to find holly with berries on, it'll look even better. My holly tree hasn't got berries on this year. The birds have had them all. But that's okay, it's good for the birds. That's what they're there for, really. So I'm going to put a little bit in there. And just take off some of these lower bits. These little baby leaves. You can just pull them off. These are the secateurs. Okay, I think that's pretty finished. I'm looking to see where I can find my hoop on cotton, but actually I've lost it, so I'm going to put a new one on. Bits fall off, it doesn't matter, just poke them back in again. So I get my string again, new bit of string. I'm going to make a new hoop, so choose where you think the top of your wreath is going to be, and tie it around. A nice tight double knot, so I want that to stay. And then another knot, so that you've got hoop left. Just right, like that. You can see my fingers through the hoop. So now we've got our lovely Christmas wreath all ready to hang on our door. Now I'm just going to tidy up some of these bits that are sticking out quite a lot. So what have we got here? We've got this bit sticking out a bit, so little bits are doing that. You can just tuck them back in. It's very tightly in there. Tuck that back in there. And this holly is sticking out a little bit. Do you know what? I think I might even use another bit of string for that bit of holly. It looks so nice there, but it could be needs to go in. So if you need a bit of string to add a bit of security, because you don't want your wreath to fall apart as soon as you hang it up. That would be boring, wouldn't it? Oh, it's very prickly. No surprise. It's hot. Okay, carefully do a double knot there. The green, I don't even need to snip off the ends. There's my hoop now. What do we think of that? I think that's looking pretty fabulous. I personally like my Christmas wreath to stay just like that. But if you wanted to add some red ribbon bow at the bottom there, that would be lovely. Or if you wanted to add some baubles, you could also do that. You can do anything you like. And as I say, I've chosen to use these kinds of greenery from the garden. All you really need is evergreen stuff that's not going to die. So evergreen plants are plants that are green now. So they're going to stay green all winter. So there's a Christmas wreath. Okay, hope you have fun making your Christmas wreath. And hope to see you soon. Okay, bye bye for now.